Well, lads, we are back, and 318 has just wrapped up. I stayed up till 2 in the morning to watch it, and I don't regret a single thing. This card was good. This card was really good. I see some people complaining about the main card and how it would under-deliver compared to the prelims. The prelims were just really good. That's literally all it is. The main card, obviously there was a couple fights that probably could have been on the prelims instead of on the main card, or you just swap them around for a couple fights, but we'll get into that later. All in all, we're going to start at the bottom of the card and go to the top, but I wanted to give some quick thoughts on Holloway versus Poirier. I saw some people saying that Holloway didn't look good in this fight. I thought Holloway looked amazing in this fight. I thought, people were saying that he looked better in the Justin fight. I don't think so. I actually think he looked better in this fight. I just think he's fighting a better opponent than Justin. I think Dustin's overall, especially when it comes to Max's style, he's a better fighter. He's a more technical fighter, and he's going to give Max more problems. So if, Max didn't look... First of all, Max in the Justin fight broke his nose really, really early on, which definitely slowed Justin down. But also, Justin's a lot sloppier of a striker than Dustin is. So no matter what, it's going to make Max look better in the striking. Anyways, like I said, we're going to dive into it from the bottom up to the top. If you guys want to jump to the the main card, you can. But right off the bat, I just want to say I thought Max looked amazing in this fight. I thought he did everything properly. He had a really, really good fight. And I think, people were saying Dustin was washed. I think a good version of Dustin showed up. This was not a washed version of Dustin. This was a very, very good version of Dustin. Was it the best version of Dustin ever? Maybe not, but definitely I would say top 3, top 4 version of Dustin. So really, really good. Max looks amazing at this weight class, and Dustin, this should have been fight of the night in my opinion. But yeah, we'll get into it. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on for this fight. This was performance of the night. Crazy. I did not think this would be performance of the night. Carla Judice, I picked Nicole Cagliari, but only because I literally haven't watched either of these guys fight before, and I didn't do any research because it was the first fight on the card and it was a women's MMA fight. But Carly Judice is really good. Her striking looked really, really clean. She was accurate. She had a lot better striking than a lot of the other guys on this card, which we'll get into as well. But yeah, she had great shot selection. She had great timing. She was in this open stance against Nicole Cagliari, and she used her kicks really, really well with the front teep, the body kick, mixing it up to the head, mixing it up to the inside leg, and her boxing. Everything looked good from Carla Judice. I should have actually done some research. I know she got a KO in her last fight, so to expect her to get a KO in another women's fight, not very many people are finishing each other, especially in women's flyweight bout. So could have seen that coming. Didn't do any research. I didn't see that coming. But Carly Judice looked really, really good, and I think she's going to be a problem for a lot of the girls in this division. She's a lot better striker than a lot of these girls. So technique for technique, and just overall power and grit. She's got good power. So. Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McPhee. This was a crazy kind of fight. Jackson McPhee looked actually pretty good at the beginning, and kind of like we thought he did, but Bruno Ferreira, he's kind of a dog. Did we know he has a submission game? Absolutely not. I know he's he's got grappling because he's in the UFC, but I didn't think he was going to submit Jackson McPhee. He got on, he was on bottom, he was eating some big shots, and he reversed the position. And then it was an arm triangle. He didn't quite get the arm triangle, and then he took the back and something with a rear naked choke. Am I right about that? I feel like I should be right about that. But anyways, it was a good win for Bruno Ferreira. We didn't really see him. If anybody saw him winning this fight, it was going to be by KO. I know, or TKO. It wasn't. So good for Bruno Ferreira, but I don't think Jackson McPhee is the highest level of this division, so he's got a lot to prove still, but it was a good win. Ryan Superman Spann versus Lucas Bresky. Dude, this guy, man, Ryan Spann, man, I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like his fights, but this was a good one, and you never know with Ryan Spann. He's kind of we're going to get into Kevin Holland. Holy fuck, bro. Anytime, you put, it's like a dog that, you really love, and you have so much faith in your dog. You're I'm going to leave him at home today. He's going to have a good time. You come home and the whole couch is fucking torn apart. and then the next day you leave him at home and he just literally does nothing. You don't know. You never know what's going to happen. So Ryan Span's kind of similar, man. You don't know if he's going to be a good version of Ryan Span or not. And this version of Ryan Span was good, man. His grappling looked great. I mean, Lucas Bresky, I don't think is very good. So how he does against higher levels in the heavyweight division, we'll see. But he does have a little bit of that lighter man skill everybody talks about. He's athletic, but he's just put on more weight to go up to heavyweight. But yeah, I don't know. His grappling looked good in this fight. It was a good submission. I mean, he didn't really have any issues in this fight, so good on him. It was a quick sub, actually. Wasn't expecting that. Then we got Jimmy the Brute Crute. Jimmy Mike. Dude, Jimmy, man. Mullet was in full effect. I can't remember if I believe I picked Jimmy coming into this fight. And, yeah, bro, just submitted the shit out of him. Just submitted him. Marcin Prachnio so quickly, so easily. I didn't expect it to be that easy. He actually looked okay at the beginning of the fight before I went to the ground. But when I went to the ground, it was kind of like, okay, here's Jimmy Crute's world. Armbar. Did he finish the armbar? Was it? Yeah, I think he finished with the armbar. But it was like he was slipping the armbar, like one of the legs was falling off and he was just reefing on it. Finally tucked it underneath his arm and pretty much just, yeah, it was nasty. Marcin Prachnio didn't have much for him on the ground. I was kind of disappointed. We got 1, 2, 3 submissions and a KO in the first 4 fights on the card. And 1, 2, 3 submissions by first round submission. That's crazy. For prelims, that's wild. Like, first 4 fights are finishes. I mean, first 5 fights are finishes. I forgot about Islam Dulatov. He KO'd the fuck out of Adam Fugit. I thought Islam Dulatov was going to be better. I picked him to get the win here. I didn't think he was going to be that much better. He's kind of got this like Ilya Topuria vibe where he's just mega confident. He knows what he's capable of, and he doesn't try to slow it down or put it off. Like, he knows he's capable of KOing people, and he's going forward and he's looking for that right away. Do I think his striking is amazing? Not like amazing, but it's definitely very, very good. And he's got a lot of power, and I think as he refines it, he's going to be a problem for a lot of guys. We haven't really seen him get tested in the grappling. I believe he's on, I heard somebody say this stat or something, like what's his, do we have his record? It's 12-1. 12-1 is pretty crazy. But I thought it was like somebody was saying like it was like a 10 or 11 or something KO in the first round streak. Dude, he just went out there and he knew he could KO Adam Fugit and he just looked for shots. But he didn't rush it too much, and when he is looking for these KO shots, he's not super sloppy like some of the other fighters. So really, really good win from Islam Dulatov. Performance of the night. There's 2 performances of the night. It was like performance of the night. It was performance of the night worthy compared to some people, but like bro's got 2 Lamborghinis. I guess Atu Gauthier got a performance of the night. Never mind. I was gonna say give it to him or somebody else, but if he got one, then I'm all good with that. Because I think this next fight, Atu Gauthier deserves a performance of the night. This dude is a fucking menace at middleweight. Like, he's gonna be a real problem for anybody that steps in the cage against him. And by we I mean everybody in the channel. We all wanted Robert Valentin. I'll just exit out this because it's not loading. There we go. We all wanted Robert Valentin to win, man. I like the Robert Valentin aura and Odin. He's screaming Odin. He's got his runes on his chest, and he's like, I'm gonna look for violence. And we haven't seen that in the last 3 fights. And he got absolutely fucked up in this fight. He had no chance. A lot of people were saying like he was kind of like looking for a way out, or he was making poor decisions, like trying to beckon Atu Gauthier on after getting rocked in the first round. I think for the most part he was out of it. This dude, Atu Gauthier, his striking, like I said, it's nasty. It's really nasty. It's clean. He's patient. And look at this dude's build, man. He's got like a fucking 8-pack. He's like the OP Cameroonian build, like Francis Ngannou times 2 at middleweight with technique. Like Francis Ngannou did very well because he had mid technique or above mid technique. Like, he had a good technique, but no, he's just all the heavyweights are fat and unathletic. So Francis Ngannou had just as good as technique, but he's in way better shape and way more athletic. This dude has really good technique, and he's going to be more athletic than every single person in this division. Like, dude, they're all going to have their hands full with this guy. He's patient in the striking. He looked really, really good. He just had to land one shot to hurt Robert Valentin, and that's kind of what I thought coming into it. Did I think he was going to make it look this easy? I did not, but he did. And, yeah, great performance from Thibaut Gauthier. I think he's somebody that I would like to see get back into the cage pretty soon, because give him a couple more people, like maybe a slightly above Robert Valentin level before we start moving him up. But he took no damage. He's taking no damage in these fights. Like, just put him in there again in like a month or two. Like, get him fights, man. He probably can use the paycheck. It's not going to hurt. And the experience in the cage is not going to hurt for him either. Like, it's not like he's going to get ran over by any of these guys. Unless you put him against like a super, super strong grappler. And even then, I think like the grappler's going to be so careful, because one shot he's gonna KO you, or he's gonna put you in trouble. So Francisco Prado, bro, versus Nikolai Vertenikov. This dude's got the squarest dome ever, and we all know it, and we all talk about it. But when I watch this bro get slammed on his head while trying to triangle, I believe he's trying to triangle Nikolai Vertenikov, and I saw him get slammed on his head, and I saw that square dome bounce off the canvas. I'm surprised he took that. You could see a lot of people are like, wow, he took that super well, but it looked like he actually got like, not, I don't want to say like KO'd, but like the equivalent of like getting dropped. Like, he was stunned for sure from that slam. It was nasty. Some people were saying it was a robbery for Francisco Prado. He should have won. I don't think he should have won. It was a close fight, but I think Nikolai Vertenikov did enough to get a win. It was back and forth. I thought Francisco Prado's striking was better than it was when I remember, I think back to his fights. I thought it was a little bit better, but he's just so undersized for welterweight. Like, what are you doing? I know you have abs, but like, bro, just lose some of the muscle or get jaw surgery and go down a weight class, because these guys are just too big and too strong for him. And even though he's gritting it out, and even though he's like trying to walk into the fire and crack these guys, like, he doesn't have quite enough power to fuck them up at welterweight with one shot. And he's just getting out muscled, out struck at range, like out grappled. Like, yeah, it's a tough one for Francisco Prado. I think he's got to go down a weight class somehow. I don't know like how hard it is for him to make that cut. But anyways, it was a close fight. It was a good fight back and forth. Vertenikov was just doing a little bit more, to be honest. Then we got Vettori versus Allen, the real fight of the night. This was fight of the night, but like, give two fights fight of the night. So I don't even know if you can do that, but I feel like Dustin and Max definitely deserved a fight of the night on this card. And if you put these two fights together, Dustin versus Max versus Vettori versus Allen, I would say they're pretty even. You might as well just give it to Max and Dustin, because it's their last fight, and would have been sick to see. But dude, this was a great fight. This was a really, really entertaining fight. You could tell that both of these guys have bad blood for each other. Like, they were not stoked. They were not stoked with each other whatsoever. I don't know. This is kind of what the way I saw it going. It was a close fight, actually. Like, you look at total strikes, 115 for Vettori, 119 for Allen. Allen got a couple more takedowns, but like didn't do anything with them. The takedowns were in the first round and literally couldn't do anything with it. Vettori's got pretty good grappling defense and submission defense. So, and then second, third round, Allen kind of just gave up on takedowns and just stood up with Vettori. But that's kind of what I saw happening. Like, I don't think Marvin Vettori's that good of a striker. I mean, I was saying in the predictions that he's kind of just mid everywhere. And Brendan Allen is a lot better in the grappling, so he's going to have that benefit. And I think he's at least as good as Vettori in the stand-up, if not a bit better. And he was a bit better. And Vettori doesn't do much other than box. Like, he literally just throws ones and twos, and barely even like hooks or anything else. But like, for the most part, he's just throwing 1-2 combos. And he's not good with getting out of range. Like, he'll throw a combo and he'll stand there. Like, he won't get out of range. Like, he won't throw a combo and then step out or step off to the side. He'll throw a combo and he'll stand still and then he'll get blasted in the face again. Or got blasted and then he'll try to throw something back, just miss, and stand there still and get blasted again. Brendan Allen did a good job of just mixing up the striking. Like, boxing-wise, pretty even. You could even say Allen was a little bit better than boxing, but Vettori landed some big shots. Allen, for the most part, just did more with other stuff other than boxing. Like, he was throwing kicks. He was, mainly just throwing kicks and mixing it in with the boxing, looking for some elbows and stuff. I don't know. Brendan Allen just mixed it up a little bit better than Vettori in this fight. And, it was a really good fight. They were both going after each other. Like, it was a crazy fight to watch. It was a really entertaining fight to watch. And both these guys got a lot of heart. Brendan Allen showed a lot more grit than I thought. That was the one thing that I thought could get him in trouble. I thought that Marvin Vettori would out-grit Brendan Allen, but that was not the case. Brendan Allen, like, you could see in the third round, he was just like, he was grinning whenever Marvin Vettori landed a good shot, and he's like, I'm going to get you back, and I'm going to come forward. And he did. So, really good win for Brendan Allen. I think that moves him to a good spot to fight some more top people in this division. And I do think he's a good middleweight. I think he's a very good middleweight. I don't think he's, is he going to be top 5? We'll see, but he's a good middleweight. He does pose a lot of problems for a decent amount of people in the division. Next, we got our boy, Lock Dog. Is it Lock Dog? I think it's Lock Dog. Vinicius Oliveira, Mr. Lockjaw himself versus Kyler, Lord Farquaad Phillips. This man, dude, Kyler Phillips. Brother, I wanted to pick you. I know I couldn't pick you because who you are and Vinicius Oliveira is. But, dude, you're so good in the first round. And then just everything you do goes to shit. Like, second, third round. Why is this happening? When he showed up against, not Rob Font, but against Pedro Munoz, and he fought like that, like where he, kind of like how he fought in this first round against Vinicius, but he did it all 15 minutes. Why is that not a thing? Like, same with the Rob Font fight. Like, when he fought Rob Font, like the, second, third rounds, he's slowing down. But in that fight against Pedro Munoz, he just literally did what he did in the first round of this fight for a whole 15 minutes. It's crazy to see. Kyler Phillips is way better than Vinicius Oliveira. Like, technique-wise, he looked really good in the first round. He definitely won the first round, in my opinion. He kind of styled out Vinicius Oliveira. Vinicius Oliveira can hit him with anything clean. But this dude doesn't give a fuck. Vinicius Oliveira, I mean, we talk about technique for technique, like the women's fight at the very beginning of the card and have twice as much technique as Vinicius Oliveira. But I think part of the reason for that is that Vinicius Oliveira doesn't really care with this level of competition. We've seen Vinicius Oliveira in like earlier fights in the UFC. I've seen him be way more technical than this. I think he just realized that Kyler Phillips is not going to land anything that's going to actually hurt him. And he's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just going to walk you down and I'm just going to literally just bully the fuck out of you, man. Like, because he literally did not try to throw any technique at all. Like, Vinicius Oliveira used zero IQ and zero technique and just came forward like a very angry featherweight that should be at bantamweight with complete disdain, or that is at bantamweight with complete disdain, and just marauded Kyler Phillips. Like, and I understand part of the reason why Kyler Phillips slowed down and why like he did end up losing the second and third round. It's like when you have this dude that has complete disdain for you, he's not worried about your power whatsoever, that can hurt you with big shots at any time, like just walking you down, that shit's intimidating, and it feels like there's not much you can do about it other than just try to survive. So, I mean, I don't know. Vinicius Oliveira looked, like, technique-wise looked awful in this fight, but, I mean, he got the job done, and I do think he's going to be a problem for a lot of the guys at bantamweight. Not the top guys, because his technique is too bad, like, for the top guys. Duke, stop. Hey, my dog's whining over there. Hey, brother, get out of here. I'll let you out. But, yeah, I don't know. His technique, it's not good enough to fight somebody like a Peter Yan, or like he was calling out Umar and Sean O'Malley. Like, both those guys are way too technical for him, but he's still going to cause problems for a lot of those guys because, like, unless they KO him, that guy is going to come, he's going to come to fucking bully you, man. And I truly believe he can bully everybody in this division. Are they going to be a lot more technical in him? Hell yeah. Are they going to be stronger, grittier, with a better chin? I don't think so. But, I also do think that for the most part, you put him against Sean O'Malley, odds are, like, he could get KO'd. I feel like Sean O'Malley does to Vinicius Oliveira, for 3 rounds, what Kyler Phillips did to him in the first round. And I think a lot of the better fighters in this division will do that. His technique's not good enough, but he's going to be there and he's going to try to bully you for a whole 3 rounds. So you better be ready to be on your bike sniping him for 3 rounds. Even even Jan against him, I don't see Jan being stronger than him in the grappling and in the clinch and stuff like that. I do see Jan holding his ground and hitting with some really nasty boxing combos, but I still don't see him KOing this dude. This dude just seems un-KOable and you can't hold your ground. I feel like there's not going to be very many people that can hold their ground against him. We got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. I got this one wrong because I thought Daniel Zellhuber would do more, and he absolutely didn't. The body kick he was doing was really good. He was using his range really good. Michael Johnson, he's so fast. He's not that fast, bro. He's not that fast. He's got okay speed, but he's not he's so fast with his hands. He's okay speed. For the most part, he only hit Daniel Zellhuber with 1 or 2 good shots, and one of the ones that rocked him. But he just did a little bit better than Daniel Zellhuber on output. And, bro, what are you doing? You literally just... I feel like Daniel Zellhuber came into this fight thinking it was going to be really easy for him to get a win against Michael Johnson. And he didn't do bad in this fight. Minus getting rocked in that one moment. Other than that, he was kind of controlling what was going on. But while he was controlling what was going on, he was getting outlanded. So he might not have felt like he was in danger, but he was still getting outlanded. And I think in his mind, he's okay, first round, I wasn't getting, I was kind of in control, and I was landing some good body kicks and stuff like that. So, I probably won that. But he still got outlanded, by Michael Johnson. So you're down that round. I believe his second round he got dropped. And then third round he kind of needed to get a KO at that point or a finish. And his coaches told him that. They did a good job of telling him that. And he did not go out and try to do that. He just, same plan, throwing the body kick, trying to keep him at range with the posting, and then smashing the body kick and the head kick. But yeah, Michael Johnson just had his hands up. Those kicks would hurt for sure, but it's not gonna KO him. And he just didn't put enough pressure and enough pace on Michael Johnson. I think if he went after Michael Johnson, he could have done way better in this fight. And we talked about this a lot of the time. And we'll get into the next fight. I believe it's, Pitbull versus Dan Ige. But you cannot win a fucking fight without throwing the same amount of output as the other person, for the most part. 80% of the time, if you're the guy throwing less output and you don't get a finish, you're going to lose. And a lot of these guys, they just think, okay, well, I can get a finish in the last round. Or, I'm landing clean. And maybe it's pretty even on strikes landed, but it's not. You have to outpoint the other person, and then you have to look for big shots. You can't just look for big shots and hope that you win that way. Odds are it goes to a decision. Odds are you lose. And Patricio Pitbull, fuck you, bro. You could have lost this fight easily too. I thought Dan Ige looked good in the first round. I didn't think it was a. When I watched it, I was like, well, Patricio Pitbull didn't win that round. It was did Dan Ige win that round? I don't know. I thought he did just as much as Pitbull, if not more than Pitbull in that first round. So I was okay, well, whatever. No one really won that round, but if anything, I could give it to Dan Ige. But fuck you, Patricio Pitbull. You're just the least entertaining fighter in this division. Honestly, man, we talked about it, and I talked about it in the predictions, that when you have somebody like Pitbull or somebody like Calvin Kattar that like to wait, and they know that they can't wait around. They know that they have to pull the trigger more because they just lost the decision by not pulling the trigger enough and not doing enough output, waiting for an opportunity to get a big shot. And they know that. They know they have to change it up. They know they have to do something different. And these guys are so stuck in their habits that they don't anyways. And I called it. I said, coming into this, that Patricio Pitbull, even though he knows he has to do more, he's talking about how he's going to go to war, he's talking about how he's going to, he lost his last fight and he knows he has to do more output and he's going to do that. And Bro did fucking none of that. Like, literally none of that. He did a good job of mixing the takedowns when Dan Ige came in, but he's not out-grappling Dan Ige. Dan Ige is a really good grappler. He held his own just fine. Patricio Pitbull did very, very little in the grappling against Dan Ige. He did rock Dan Ige in the second round. That was a clear round for for Pitbull. And then the third round was a round for Dan Ige. Like, Dan Ige rocked Pitbull and I think won that round as well. So Pitbull's sitting here with a win in the UFC, but bro, you didn't fucking win. Like, you won 51% of that fight, if that. Like, shit win, shit performance. I'm not really impressed with him. I actually don't want to see this guy fight anymore. Like, after, it's kind of like, yeah, he fought Yair, but like, it's kind of like his Yair fight. Like, I watched that and like, I really couldn't care less about watching you fight again. Like, you literally just sat there and watched yourself lose a fight. And even though you got the win here, you still sat here and watched yourself lose a fight. There was, like, easily this fight could have gone either way. Like, yes, 51% your way, but like, you could have easily been sitting on the side of a bad decision here. So, I don't know. I was really bummed about that. I don't want to see him in the main card. I don't want to see him headline or co-main anything, like, even in the Apex. Like, just, bro, just get out of here. Like, I just can't, man. I don't know. And I like Dan Ige. I think Dan Ige is an exciting fighter, and I think he didn't quite do enough in this fight. Like, he probably could have had more output, but I still think he did more than Pitbull. I don't know. Anyways, Holloway versus Rodriguez. This was not what I was expecting. I don't think anybody was expecting this. Dude, I don't know how this gringo Rodriguez keeps, doing shit. And I don't know how the fuck Kevin Holland shows up to fights. Like, what are you doing, man? Kevin Holland, like, looked so good in his last fight. He looked so clean. His technique was clean. His technique was on point. He was in the flow state, and he looked really, really good. Against Rodriguez, he looked so sloppy. He was, like, winging shots, like, from the hip, just throwing punches randomly, like, literally just spazzing out. I've heard some people say he's spazzing out, and it looked like he was spazzing out in this fight. He's not throwing long, clean 1-2s like he usually does, or he has done in other fights. You never know what the fuck to expect with Kevin Holland. Like, is he going to be half decent? Is he going to be dog shit? Like, is he going to forget all the technique he learned? Or is he going to be good? Kevin Holland was a huge favorite, and he should have been. He should have got the dub against Daniel Rodriguez here, no problem. And he did. This was a great fight, though, and Kevin Holland showed some serious, serious grit. Daniel Rodriguez, I don't think is very good. I still don't think he's very good. I think he's a pretty, like, bottom of the pack in welterweight, like, bottom, like, fourth of the middleweight division, like, talent-wise. Just Kevin Holland did not show up tonight at all. And I think part of that is he starts to take these fights too seriously. Like, we saw, I would say if you go back and you look at the majority of fights, he's talking shit, having fun, and just vibing out. Those are the fights he looks on point for, and his technique's clean. And usually the fights where he's winning and not getting caught with things like this. I think when he tries to, like, lock in, it takes him out of the flow state. And I don't know if you guys ever play sports, but for me personally, like, a lot of time when I, like, you learn how to compete under pressure and all this stuff, but you have to be yourself. And if you're turning off that kind of energy, like if Kevin Holland's going out of his way to try to act like something he's not to make sure his performance is better, it's usually going to do the opposite. And I feel like that was part of what happened here. He looked good in the first round, though. Like, so Daniel Rodriguez was it a split decision, or was it the decision for Rodriguez? I still think you could have given the fight to Kevin Holland. I understand giving it to D-Rod, but I actually thought that Kevin Holland won the first round. Let's look at significant strikes. Yeah, he was up in significant strikes, or total strikes. And way up in significant strikes in round one. And I thought he definitely won round two. So this is what I was kind of confused on. I thought Kevin Holland could have won this fight. I remember watching the first round, and I was like, okay, Kevin Holland won that. Second round, Rodriguez pretty much KO'd Kevin Holland. I don't know how he stayed in this fight. Daniel Rodriguez probably should have got him out there, didn't. But Kevin Holland did a good job of surviving and, kind of even turning the tables a bit in the end of the second round. Third round, Kevin Holland rocked Daniel Rodriguez, and he totally should have got Rodriguez out of there as well. Kind of similar to the other one, but he was like holding Rodriguez in the clinch and trying to do like a skip jump knee. Like, even if you landed that, it didn't have any power on it. Like, you should have just like threw an actual knee instead of doing it like a jump knee or a skip jump knee like that. Like, there was no power on it, and his guard was already up. It was just poor decision making by Kevin Holland in like trying to finish Rodriguez in that third round, which he also should have got a finish. But to be fair to Kevin Holland and Rodriguez in both these situations, both of them were rocked really bad in this fight, so you're not thinking clearly at this point. But I still think Kevin Holland could have won. Like, when you look at, and it sucks that we have D-Rod, you know, because where is D-Rod going to go in this division in, like, you know, future fights? Like, it's not entertaining. Like, D-Rod is an old head, and you know he's going to lose some, win some, lose some, win some, and have some okay, half-interesting fights. Kevin Holland is actually, like, an entertaining personality, and he does have an opportunity to get good wins against good competition, unlike D-Rod, so it sucked to see him lose this way. But, like, look, you look at the first round, total strikes, Kevin Holland won, significant strikes, he won by quite a bit, so I would give the first round to Kevin Holland. Second round, obviously, D-Rod, and third round, in my opinion, was quite obviously Kevin Holland. So I would have given this fight to Kevin Holland, but, you know, it was close, but still. And last but not least, second last but not least, we got our boy, the secret juice monster, Paulo Costa. He looked really good in this fight, man. I called it. I thought, first of all, people were saying like Roman Kopylov, acting like he's like the best striker in middleweight. I really don't rate his striking. I think it's like, it's good. It's above average, for sure. And, yeah, but it's not Izzy level. Like, it's not, the strike, people were treating it like his striking is like, he's as good as Izzy, or even like DDP, like he's got as good a technique as DDP in the striking. But people were acting like Roman Kopylov's got like this elite Alex Pereira, Izzy Adesanya level striking. And he doesn't. He really doesn't. And I thought Paulo Costa would have an advantage in the striking, and he would just be more powerful, and I thought that he would walk him down and impose his will. And dude, he did. He was landing some nasty shots. He was throwing. This is the Paulo Costa that like scares the fuck out of everybody in the division. It's intimidating as all hell because he throws 100% into everything. He does have good technique. Like, his technique isn't bad. Like, he throws his kicks properly. He throws his combos properly. He's got like good dexterity. He's got good natural athleticism. But he throws with like pure like murder intent on everything. Like, he throws like he's smashing a pad or a bag as hard as he can, with no regard of how much it's going to hurt yourself. Like, if you, like, obviously, like, you blast a body kick as hard as you can against somebody, it's going to hurt them more. But oftentimes that sucks when you, like, wind up full force, open stance, blast somebody with a body kick. That shit still hurts, man. But Paulo Costa doesn't care, man. He walked him down. He imposed his will on Roman Kopylov. He had more output, which was an amazing thing I like to see. Not only did he throw the bigger, harder shots and land better, but he also threw more. So it was an obvious win for Paulo Costa. He won every round, in my opinion. Kopylov just part of it, I think, in this fight was also it wasn't Kopylov's best performance, but he really had nothing for Paulo Costa. So, and who the fuck is his corner telling him that he's like up, or like all he's got to do is win the second round or third round? Like, he was getting his ass kicked for like literally the whole fight. So. Great win for Paulo Costa. I want to see him fight some more people, and eventually, fuck it, send him against Chimaev. It would be entertaining at least. Last but not least, we got Holloway versus Poirier. We covered a bit of this at the beginning. Max Holloway looks really, really good at 155. He's got more power. He's got a speed advantage against the other guys in the division. He's strong. He's not weak. Like, in the grappling sequences and everything like that, like, you could see him against Dustin. He looked like the bigger, stronger dude against Dustin, so I think Max is a problem at this weight class. Do I think he can beat Ilya at this weight class? That's a big question everybody's going to be asking. I do think he can beat him. I think the problem is it's 25 minutes, and even with Max up a weight class with technically what you'd call a better chin, one shot from Ilya is probably still going to KO you. So you have 25 minutes where you have to avoid, you know, one big shot. But I also don't think that's how you fight Ilya. I think you can't change up your fight style to fight afraid and just try to stand on the back foot and outpoint him at distance. I think you got to fight your fight the exact same as you always do and just hope that one shot doesn't land. And the odds of that happening are still pretty low. But I do think Max just works the majority of people in this division. I think he works people like Armin. Like, who is going to beat Max at lightweight? Like, really, outside of Ilya, I don't see very many people that are going to beat Max at lightweight. I think he's I think he's a better striker than pretty much everybody in this division other than Ilya. And even then, I still think Max. People are gonna hate that I say I think Max is a better striker than Ilya. I think Max has uses his striking better than Ilya. Ilya's striking is just boxing and calf kicks. Max mixes it up a lot better. He has better footwork than Ilya. But he is boxing heavy, and when you put a significantly better boxer against a guy who he's well-rounded in the striking, but he's boxing heavy, then you have problems, especially when you have somebody like Ilya with KO power. But I think Max is a problem for everybody in this division. Dude, he looked really good in this fight. One thing I said coming into the fight is that he was going to outpoint Dustin Poirier, which is why I thought he would win the decision. And I also thought that he would be able to crack Dustin, and he would be able to take Dustin's shots at 155 with a proper bulk up, which is kind of what happened. Max Holloway does a really good job of outpointing people by doing kind of what Volk does as well, where, you're just like, whether you're blasting the low kick or just tapping a low kick or just touching them or just touching the jab, those things add up. First of all, they open up bigger shots, bigger combos. They open up opportunities for Max to like blitz in like he was doing with some of his combos that were working really well. But they also just get you up on the scorecard. They keep the guy guessing when you're going from like a little oblique kick to an inside kick to maybe a blasting body kick, maybe a 1-2 down the pipe, maybe a body shot, and then a right hand. Even if they're not 100%, you're getting ahead on output, and you're also making the person guess, and then you create opportunities for big shots. And that's kind of what I saw Max doing in this fight, and it's exactly kind of what he did. He looked really, really good. He mixed it up a lot. The oblique kicks were nasty. Like you could see kind of in the the fourth and the fifth round, where I felt like Max was not oblique kicking Dustin Poirier like as hard as he could have, because you could tell like it looked like felt almost bad for Dustin Poirier. Like it's a pretty fucking dick move to go try to like destroy somebody's ACL when it's your last fight in the UFC and you guys like you actually like each other. It's not like you have like beef or anything, but also you're there to win a fight. So it looked like Max was kind of almost holding back on that. He spammed the spinning back kick a lot. I don't think it's a really good technique, and that's hard to say because he broke Justin Gaethje's nose with it. But that was a lot of luck. That was when he was ducking in, and this short like jumping back spinning back kick, it's especially against the southpaw, for the most part it's pretty ineffective because Max is throwing it to like shoulder to body area. Most of the time their hand's going to be here, and most of the time I think I pulled the camera. Most of the time their hand's going to be here and it's going to block. Like it's just, and you're so close range when you're southpaw versus orthodox for that spinning jumping back kick or whatever you want to call it, that it's pretty ineffective. Although especially if you're not throwing it to the head, and when you're jumping back and moving back like that, it's very, very hard to throw it head, almost impossible. Like you almost have to actually just set it as a spinning back kick, not jumping. But he did catch Dustin Poirier in the fucking neck with it once, right in the neck. And if that was an inch or two higher, that could have easily been like a spinning back kick, jumping back kick KO. So anyways, it was really a good fight for Max Holloway. He really improved and added a lot more kicks to his game, and it really made a difference. The body kicks that he was blasting at Dustin Poirier every time Dustin Poirier tried to come into range were really, really good. I've been using this in sparring a lot. I was watching, I think it's like the YouTube channel Cyan Boxing, and there's a lot of guys on there that were talking about using the switch kick just to blast somebody whenever they come into range. Like they're trying to close the distance on you, and you just blast the switch kick to slow them down. It's kind of what Max was doing, but because they're in an open stance, they didn't have to do a switch kick. But just like they step into range, blast, as they're trying to close distance, blast them with a body kick. It's there. So Max did a really good job of that. He did get absolutely clipped by Dustin Poirier in the second round, and the fact that he held on and survived was really impressive. I watched the first round when Max had Dustin hurt, and I was like, holy fuck, Max is going to just go there and finish Dustin in the first round. And then Dustin dug deep, got out of it. Dustin's a really good fighter. He's a really gritty, really, really solid fighter. And the dude is not, he's not afraid to go to war. People are saying, after, you just clinched in the last, 5 seconds of the fight. Bro, he took some big shots. He went to war with Max Holloway, and it was a really, really good fight. But I thought for a second Max Holloway was going to get another like early KO. It's like, holy shit. And then I thought like second round when Dustin had Max here, I was like, no, I swear to God, if Max is like just dominates Dustin the whole fight and then like loses like a KO at the end, I'm going to be so bummed for Max. But he did a really good job of making sure he won this fight and not just resting on winning this fight. Like, I think he was up 4 rounds and he didn't act like it, but not that Max usually does. Like, yeah. Anyways, and also in the pocket boxing at the end when they're obviously pointing the ground like we kind of all expected, Max looks really, really, really good in the pocket when he just goes full speed, unload, like he's just bashing a bag. I think if you put him and Ilya right at the beginning of a round and they actually just stand and bang in that pocket, I would say there's a 40% chance, 45% chance Max actually wins that exchange and ends up KOing Ilya or getting Ilya out of there. Because a lot of the times when Ilya is winning these like in close in the pocket exchanges, and obviously Ilya is like, we're all gonna say he's got the better pocket boxing, but a lot of the time when he's doing really good with this pocket boxing, the other guy's just defending and they're just trying to get out of the way, or they're just trying to make room to get out. They're up against the fence, they can't move back. It's a little bit different when you got 2 guys that are in the middle of the octagon and both going full offense. Like, not one guy's kind of backed against the cage and the other guy's in the pocket trying to box them while they're trying to make space or to defend. So I would like to see Max versus Ilya just throw down in the middle and see what happens. Offense only, it would be interesting. But great win for Max. I'm excited to see what's next for him. I think like he's got one more fight in this division, and he's gonna get a title shot for sure. I think he beats everybody in this division other than Ilya for the most part. So it'll be very interesting to see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, but it was a great fight card. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Deuces.